Morning, everybody. Thanks, Adrian. As Adrian's explained, we're using a slightly different microphone, which means I'm wired in, so I can't pace up and down my boardroom, which is what I prefer to do. Anyway, hi Peter, hi Jeffrey. Thanks for your greetings. Nice to hear from everyone this morning. Um, yeah, just listening to Adrian about these markets. These are still not normal markets. When I look at the ranges that we're having, it's we're stuck in some fairly tight ranges. Certainly for a lot of us here who are trading the markets, we mostly focus on foreign exchange, and they've been in a pretty tight range all year, really. We started with the dollar really on fire, and ever since then, it's given back a lot of its gains. And the sort of patterns repeated itself last week in a way. We've seen a quite a big swing in data last week. Let me just open up a browser here. For all of those of you who are attending for the first time, what we're going to do is just review the data this week. This is a slightly more comprehensive review that I do on a Monday. On the Wednesday or Thursday meetings that we have, the workshops, we tend to spend less time on it, obviously, because we've only got perhaps 2 or 3 days to go before the end of the week. So I'm just going to quickly explain that. The first meeting or a workshop, I'll probably take about a quarter of an hour to explain the data that's coming out, so you can prepare for the week, that you can you know what data's coming out, what are the key events that you should prepare for. This is not designed to teach you anything too substantial about economics. It's a very simple pointer how you can do what we do as traders to ensure that you're in the best position to sort of execute your trades and your trading strategy in the same way that we do. Okay, so what we do just to get the best calendar for the week, we use a company called Forex Factory. They've got a very comprehensive calendar. It's forexfactory.com, and if you click on the top here, you can click on calendar. And the beautiful thing about Forex Factory, you can look at previous weeks. Here on the left hand side there is a calendar. If you click on the weekly view, you can look at last week's data. And I'm just going to leave this up here for a second before I come on to this week's data, because there's been quite a swing in what's been happening. We've tended to have the US data, US performance outperforming the Eurozone, certainly for the last couple of months, and that trend has started to change over the last 2 or 3 weeks, really ever since Ben Bernanke from the Federal Reserve suggested that the employment data perhaps would be softening, and ever since those words, we've seen quite a softening in data, not just from the unemployment stats from non-farm payroll from the beginning of the month, but also in other data as well, manufacturing data released last week. Let's just look at this here quickly. So last week, when we had this meeting this time last week, we were talking about manufacturing sector. The first one on last Monday was the Empire State. That came at 6.6. So that's a lot worse than expected. We were expecting 18.1. And then the other number on Thursday, we had the Philly Fed. If you recall, we were talking about that as well. That's the biggest federal district for manufacturing anyway, a very key area, and that actually came out at 8.5, so that was considerably worse than expected. You can contrast that with the economic surveys that came out last week from Europe, certainly, and well, specifically from Germany, where we look at I think the ZEW on last Monday, was a lot better than expected. Let's just pick that out. Where are we going for the ZEW? Or was it on Tuesday? Hang on a second. Let's just find this bit of data for you. Okay, see the ZEW economic sentiment, that came out at 23.4, expected at 19.7. That data was better than expected. Then we had the IFO survey on Friday. That came out at 109.9, better than 109.6 expected. So generally we can see these performances improving. What's the reason for the dramatic change in gold we saw a few minutes ago? Terry, okay, I can quickly interrupt this. What's actually causing it? May be a break. Okay, there's, well, the dollar's starting to firm up a little bit, Terry. That's probably one of the reasons. If you look at dollar euro here, dollar euro has continued its fall lower from the sort of 7 o'clock start here this morning. So that'll be having an effect on it. Other than that, I don't know what bit of news has come out. The only news that I know that is significant, and we're going to get onto that, has been the Chinese manufacturing data this morning. But let's just continue. I'll ask Adrian just to look into that in the meantime, Terry. Okay, so that's last week. So you can see the change in data here. So really I guess that's probably supported the improvement in the euro last week. We're just looking at dollar euro here. If I just show you a daily chart, dollar euro actually has recovered from the lows. We actually had a low last week down, I think that must have been on the 16th, that's on Monday. We hit a low just below 130 against the dollar, and ever since then, as the data's come out supporting an improving picture in the eurozone, whilst at the same time a slightly less better economic picture in the States. So we actually hit a low at 129. What do we hit there? Sort of 129.95, and we hit a high on Friday at 132.25. So you can see that picture reflected in the foreign exchange markets as the euro recovered against the dollar. Equities, they had a pretty mixed picture, really. Generally mixed to positive in the eurozone, the UK, and the DAX and CAC, and slightly more mixed in the US, with the Dow, S&P and Nasdaq all sort of ending flat to slightly lower on the week. So that's the outlook, or that's the picture. The outlook, well, we've seen the opening this morning. A lot of you will probably know, I think the FTSE was called about 25 to 30 lower. Here we go. I'm just putting the FTSE up for you. Just get it refreshed. The FTSE was due 25 to 30 lower. At the moment we are down about let's just get that, we're now down 49, so it slipped quite sharply. Just looking at a 5-minute chart, I mean we haven't actually opened this lower. We came in about sort of 35 lower, and we've fallen another 15 points or so since the open. So that's on the back of some data that's come out. I'm sorry to have rushed the last bit, but we've only got limited time here. So you can know the key data, the key events happening this week. Good luck with it all. I will be speaking to you again, or in fact I won't. I'm away in Geneva on Wednesday, but my colleague Mark Tarling will be supporting Adrian with the workshop on Wednesday. Thanks very much for listening.